Hey guys, GhazzyTV here with another Path of Exile video. We talked about the inextricable Fate Fugitive boots, and we talked about this yesterday, and we did make a video that we actually uploaded, and it was up for 10 minutes before Mark from GGG destroyed us, basically. So I want to talk about these boots real quick and the problem that these boots brings to the table, and I want to bring this discussion up. So the TLDR is that the Grasping Vines, when you take a critical strike, but nearby stationary enemies would gain Grasping Vines, and if they have 3, all damage will be poisoning against that enemy, and you also take reduced extra damage on critical strikes by poisoned enemy. Now, logically, reading this, based on the way they worded it, this should work on Animate Guardian, meaning that you would put it on the Animate Guardian, and then the Animate Guardian would apply this so that all damage from all sources, because it would count as a debuff on the enemies. But it turns out that this modifier is a local modifier towards the player or the actual person wielding it, in this case the Animate Guardian, which means the Animate Guardian's damage would be poisoning, and therefore it will not be good to use on Animate Guardian, at least for the most part. That there's some stupid niche meme approaches you can do with it. But the problem that this brings to the table is how careful wording is in this game, and despite how picky GGG are with wording, we still have a problem where we have to like decipher every single modifier, every single item, everything we can do in the game to see if that works with minions. It is always a fickle beast to deal with. And it's not just wordings, it's just the way mechanics interact with one another when you're suddenly putting it on a proxy like an AHE, and it just gets super messy. And I don't know, I've been preaching and pitching for the purpose of getting more of a streamlined information on what the hell actually works for minions and doesn't work. I don't know how they're going to do this. I've pitched a couple of ideas to Chris Wilson, and I mean, we're not getting anywhere with it. AG is extremely tricky to use, and it's very hard for people to understand if things work or not. A classic problem when it comes to minions is, for example, Summon Raging Spirits, which is a spell duration fire tag, and people believe that, hey, well, if I have increased fire damage or flat damage to spells, that will actually scale the SRS damage. The answer is no, it does not. You know what actually happens? The result is that you using Summon Raging Spirit spell gets increased damage, gets flat damage to the spell, all of that works. The problem is it works for you summoning the SRS. So the summoning process of summoning the minion gets added damage and has added flat damage and all these things. The problem is the summoning process doesn't actually hit anything, so it doesn't do any damage, even though you essentially scale it according to the game. But the minion does not inherit those stats. And it's just so messy with how this works. And it creates a lot of problems with new and newer players who have not played this game enough to understand these things, or are willing or have the interest to read up on these things, making minions one of the most complex and hardest things to understand in Path of Exile. I've played this game for about 27,000 hours, and I'm still making mistakes just like everyone else in here. And in this case, I made a mistake with the inextricable Fate boots. I also did a miscalculation of the poison, for that matter. Either way, it just simply doesn't work as the TLDR, and what I want to bring up and discuss in this video, I want to hear you guys' opinions about this in the comments below in this video. What you guys feel about the complex and overkill complex mechanics of these wordings and how they work with minions, and if you guys have any suggestions of how they can make this easier for people to understand. That's the discussion I want to have. I'll be reading every single comment down below, because I'm very curious to hear what you guys in the community has to say about this, because I'm just getting more and more frustrated when these things happen. And yeah, I will continue to do my best to make sure to provide accurate and good content for you boys. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more content. It really helps out the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. So till then, stay safe. Keep talking. Keep talking. Keep rocking. This is what happens when I read Twitch chat.